Hey scholars, so yesterday we read the story A Chair for My Mother, and we made predictions while we were reading. Today we are going to use the same book to practice a different skill, and the skill is a retell. And we have done retells this year already, but we're going to continue learning about how to do a good retell this whole entire year. It's a really important skill. And in a retell, we talk about what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. Now, on Seesaw, you are going to see this activity, and you're going to see it say title of story. So right away, I'm going to put the title of the story, A Chair for My Mother. Okay, there is our title. I'm going to resize it so it fits. Now we're going to look at the beginning of the story so we can fill out the beginning part of the story. A chair for my mother. Now when we're doing a retell, it's important that we have completely finished the book. And sometimes what I'm going to do when I do a retell is if I read the entire book one time through, I might read it a second time. I might read it a second time to help me remember the most important parts of the story. Now I'm just going to start reading, and I'll read the first few pages and then we'll talk about what happened in the beginning. It takes a long time to fill a jar this big. Every day when my mother comes home from work, I take down the jar. My mama empties all her change from tips out of her purse for me to count. Then we push all of the coins into the jar. Sometimes my mama's laughing when she comes home from work. Sometimes she's so tired she falls asleep while I count the money out into piles. Some days she has lots of tips. Some days she has only a little. Then she looks worried, but each evening every single shiny coin goes into the jar. We sit in the kitchen to count the tips. Usually Grandma sits with us too. While we count, she likes to hum. Often she has money in her old leather wallet for us. Whenever she gets a good bargain on tomatoes or bananas or something she buys, she puts by the savings and they go into the jar. When we can't get a single other coin into the jar, we are going to take all the money out and go buy a chair. Yes, a chair. A wonderful, beautiful, fat, soft armchair. We will get one covered in velvet with roses all over it. We are going to get the best chair in the whole world. That is because our old chairs burned up. There was a big fire in our other house. All our chairs burned. So did our sofa, and so did everything else. That wasn't such a long time ago. Now I'm going to pause here because we're going to fill out what happened in the beginning of the story. Now in the beginning of the story, we find out that our character and her mother and her grandmother are saving money in a coin jar to buy a new chair. So I'm going to put our character, our main character, her mother and grandma are saving coins in a jar to buy a new chair. I'm going to make this smaller so it fits. Scrunch it up a little bit. I see a typo, so I'm going to fix that. Our main character, her mother and grandma are saving coins in a jar to buy a new chair. So that's the beginning. I'm going to add one more detail. Their chairs burned in a fire. Okay. This over. Just like to try to make it line up sort of nice. There. Okay, let's go back to the story to find out and be reminded of what happens in the middle. My mother and I were coming home from buying new shoes. I had new sandals. She had new pumps. We were walking to our house from the bus. We were looking at everyone's tulips. She was saying she liked red tulips best, and I was saying I liked yellow ones. Then we came to our block. Right outside our house stood two big fire engines. I could see lots of smoke. Tall orange flames came out of the roof. All the neighbors stood in a bunch across the street. Mama grabbed my hand and we ran. My Uncle Sandy saw us and ran to us. Mama yelled, "Where's Mother?" I yelled, "Where's my grandma?" My Aunt Ida waved and shouted, "She's here, she's here. She's okay, don't worry." Grandma was all right. Our cat was safe too, though it took a while to find her. But everything else in our whole house was spoiled. What was left of the house was turned to charcoal and ashes. We went to stay with my mother's sister, Aunt Ida, and our Uncle Sandy. Then we were able to move into the apartment downstairs. We painted the walls yellow and the floors were all shiny, but the rooms were very empty. The first day we moved in, the neighbors brought pizza and cake and ice cream, and they brought a lot of other things too. The family across the street brought a table and 3 kitchen chairs. The very old man next door gave us a bed from when his children were little. My other grandpa brought us his beautiful rug. My mother's other sister, Sally, had made us red and white curtains. Mama's boss, Josephine, brought pots and pans, silverware, and dishes. My cousins brought me her stuffed bear. Everyone clapped when my grandma made a speech. "You are all the kindest people," she said. "And we thank you very, very much. It's lucky we're young and can start all over." Okay. Now I'm going to pause here because that was the middle of the story. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to type in what happened in the middle. What were some things that happened in the middle? Why don't you pause the video and think about some of the most important things that happened? And then come back. See if you thought of the same or similar things to what I thought. Right. Welcome back. Now, in the middle, we learn that a fire destroyed their apartment. The community came together, and what did the community do? They helped, right? They came together and helped get them stuff for a new apartment. So it was the community. It was family, it was friends, it was neighbors, but they all came together to help. And so, they started to get things in their apartment. It started to fill up a little bit. So that's really what happened in the middle. So we learn about the fire, and we learn about all the people who helped to kind of get them back on their feet again. Okay, let's find out and remember and remind ourselves of what happened at the end of the story. That was last year, but we still have no sofa and no big chairs. When Mama comes home, her feet hurt. "There's no good place for me to take a load off my feet," she says. When Grandma wants to sit back and hum and cut up potatoes, she has to get as comfortable as she can on a hard kitchen chair. So that is how come Mama brought home the biggest jar she could find at the diner, and all the coins started to go into the jar. Now the jar is too heavy for me to lift down. Uncle Sandy gave me a quarter. He had to boost me up so I could put it in. Okay, so on this page we find out that the jar is getting really full, and they still don't have a sofa, and they still don't have big chairs, big comfy chairs to sit on. And they want these big comfy chairs because the mama, she works really hard, and her feet hurt, and she can't really sit and be comfortable. Okay. After supper, Mama and Grandma and I stood in front of the jar. "Well, I never would have believed it, but I guess it's full," Mama said. My mother brought home little paper wrappers for the nickels and the dimes and the quarters. I counted them all out and wrapped them all up. On my mother's day off, we took all the coins to the bank. The bank exchanged them for $10 bills. Then we took the bus downtown to shop for our chair. Okay, so think about that. They collected their coins, they organized their coins, they brought them to the bank, and they've got $10 bills. Now, it makes sense to do that because can you imagine if they carried that big jar around with them? Would it be easy to buy a chair with a huge jar like that? No. Would it be easy to carry the jar? No. Would it be easy for the people working to count all that money? Mm-mm. So they made a really good choice. We shopped through 4 furniture stores. We tried out big chairs and smaller ones, high chairs and low chairs, soft chairs and harder ones. Grandma said she felt like Goldilocks and the 3 bears trying out all the chairs. Oopsie. Well, that was strange. Hang on. That was really silly. I pressed a button and I'm back. Don't worry. Finally, we found the chair we were all dreaming of, and the money in the jar was enough to pay for it. We called Aunt Ida and Uncle Sandy. They came right down in their pickup truck to bring the chair home for us. They knew we couldn't wait for it to be delivered. Okay. I tried out our chair in the back of the truck. Mama wouldn't let me sit there while we drove, but they let me sit in it while they carried it up to the door. We set the chair right beside the window with the red and white curtains. Grandma and Mama and I all sat in it a while. Aunt Ida took our picture. Now Grandma sits in it and talks with people going by in the daytime. Mama sits down and watches the news on TV when she comes home from her job after supper. I sit with her and we reach right up and turn out the lights if I fall asleep in her lap. All right, the end. Now on Seesaw, you are going to write down what happened at the end of the story. So we talked about the beginning, we talked about the middle, and I just read you the end. You might need to re-listen to the end of the story so that you can fill out this final part in our chart right here. Think about what happened at the end of the story. Again, you can go back a couple minutes after we learn about the fire and re-listen to the last part of the story. Think about what they do with the jar, okay? And you are also going to be applying the strategy, the skill to your independent reading book today. So you're going to be telling me what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end of your independent reading book that you read on Epic or Raz Kids. All right, happy reading.